Hello, kids. How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's doing great. Welcome to lesson 8.5, a math of style, loop variable names. So you remember when I was creating my program? By the way, I have my program open from the last. Sorry, I have my program open from the last lesson, say the last video. You guys remember that my variable, right? The useful was the name of my variable, and you guys know the variables can be whatever name. Well, in programming we have conventions, okay? I mean, something that a lot of programmers do, right? When everybody does the same thing, it's so much easy for us to look at each other's code and understand what is going on. So one convention with variable names in loops or in the counting loops or the for loops is to use like the I, J, and K, right? I don't know why. That's what I learned, and that's what Python. A lot of people who program in Python also use. So with a variable name in with the variable name in a for loop, usually people use I, the letter J, the letter K. Why is that? Because it's just keeping track of number, and you don't really need a complicated variable name called useful. All you're doing is you're just keeping track of something. You count one and you keep track of it. You count two, you keep track of it. It doesn't have to be that way. Once again, it doesn't have to be that way. But it's just a matter of convention. A lot of people do it. It's so much easier to do it that way, so that everybody can understand and see your code. Yeah, I hope you understand what I'm saying. But again, it doesn't have to be this way, but that's the convention, and that's what a lot of Python programmers do. Okay, so in this case, I'll just use I because it's so much. I mean, I don't have to write a lot, I just have to write little, and that's the number one goal of a program. I want to write little and I want to do the same thing. So with a variable useful, I'll just change it to I, and since I change it to I, wherever I have useful, I have to change that to I as well. And then if I run the same program, it shouldn't change. It should be the same thing. Run module. Make it big for everybody. It didn't change. It's just the same thing, okay? So the point over here is that people like to use I, J, and K. That's the convention, and that's what people like to do. I mean, you can choose not to do it that way, but I'll just say, if you do it that way, it'll be so much easier for me to understand what you're writing or your code. I don't have to send you another email about, hey, what variable is this? I can't understand it. So basically, that's all it is. Oh, also, one thing that I want to mention is that the range function, programmers, we are super lazy. So I'll show you something. I'm going to open up idle and show you something about the range function. Okay, so this is idle open. You guys know if I do, let's see, 1 second, let me run module again. Okay, so I have idle open. I wanted to have the prompt. For some reason I didn't have it, but now I have it. You guys know if I do something like range 0, actually 1 to 11, you guys know I'm gonna get a list back from 1 to 10. Okay, that's great. You guys already know that. So one thing about the range function is that you really don't even need the low number. Okay, if you want to start from 0, you don't need a low number. And one thing about programming, okay, a lot of the things, a lot of the lists that we're going to learn about in the future, we start counting from 0. I don't know why, but that's what programmers do. We start counting from 0, and you'd be surprised. A lot of people, a lot of code that you see start counting from 0. So let's say with a range function, I want to print from 0 till 10, okay? All I'm going to do is that I don't really need to specify the low number. By default, it will start counting from 0. So I'll just call the range function, and then I'll just say 11. And I get 0, 1, 2, up to 10. You guys understand? So I just printed from 0 as the low number 0, and the high number 11, because the high number 10, because I said 11, because 11 was the ending number. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay, so you start counting from 0, and another way is that this is a good way. Okay, so this program will loop 11 times, not 10. Why? Because it start counting at 0. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it will loop 11 times. So let's try that. So rather than having 1 to 11, I'm just going to have 11. And I'm going to run my program, and I will see that it loops 11 times. It loops 11 times, but it started counting from 0. So 0 is 1, 1 is 2. So if you count all this, it's 11 times. But it started counting from 0, okay? I hope you guys understood what I did. You know, the range function, we can use, we can omit the lower value, and by default, it will just start counting from 0. Until then, kids, I want you guys to read from page 80 to 82. Try out printing some ranges. Also, one thing I want to test you guys is I want you guys to test printing out a range with strings and see what is going to happen. We're going to talk about that in the next couple of videos, but I want you guys to experiment, play with it,